Ladies, that 9-to-5 guy will treat you totally better than that boss.
People of the same skin folk will not support you sometimes until they already see that you have success.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's not anybody that's a boss will tell you it's not easy.
All right. We good? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Chat It. Welcome to another episode. Thank you for all of our listeners right now, whether you're listening on any streaming platform or if you're watching on YouTube. Once again, I hope the quality and everything is great. Let's go ahead and get sponsored by Shiru. That's the person that's the company that's with this lens right now. I want to go ahead and get sponsored by that. So let's try to make that work. Anyways, who do we got on right now? We got a good guest. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
That's what I'm talking about. My name's Vinny. I'm the owner of Inkville Tattoos and Pearson Studio.
Okay, got you. Inkville, I'm not gonna lie. So in North Carolina, I think that's a really popular trademark name. You know? Like, I swear I hear Inkville everywhere I go.
The idea of it didn't come from me.
Okay.
I was just a piercer at a shop. So I just, on my Facebook, I said, I'm about to open up my own shop. Give me some names of what I should call it. Whoever wins, I give you $100.
Okay.
And about 20 people out of 130 said Inkville.
Okay.
Because, Fayetteville, DeVille. It just matched.
Got you.
It just matched.
Now, where did that start off in? Like, what city?
Fayetteville. Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
What's your experience with Fayetteville? Because I'm from Fayetteville.
Fayetteville off the chain.
Yeah.
Fayetteville is off the chain.
Yeah.
I love it though. With it being a military city, right?
Yeah.
You know where not to go.
True.
You know where not to go.
Exactly.
You could basically point out where somewhere it's gonna be dangerous. Other than that, Fayetteville is one of the greatest cities you can be at.
Really?
It's one of the greatest cities. Downtown is off the chain.
Yeah.
It is nice.
True.
It's
That
nice.
is true. They really built everything up, though.
Yes, they have.
They did a lot.
Brand
of work.
Boulevard, that's a different story.
Yeah, they still working. They still working.
Oh, it's not Vietnam no more.
No, it's not.
It's not.
You know how many times I hear whenever I say I'm from Fayetteville, and they go, "Oh, Vietnam." I'm like, man, it's not that bad anymore.
It's not at all.
How's your experience being your boss? The boss.
It's hard. It's hard. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's not anybody that's a boss will tell you it's not easy.
Yeah.
If they say, "Oh yeah, this is the easiest thing in the world," they're lying.
Yeah. Because everybody wants to be a boss.
Everybody wants to be a boss.
Camera,
you know what I'm saying? And I hope, I'm not trying to steer nobody from it.
Yeah.
I want everybody to do whatever they can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got one life to live.
Exactly.
Live it to the most you can.
Exactly.
But
very true.
It's hard. It's hard.
People got to start understanding that, though.
Yeah.
Because I think that we've gone into this age where everybody is kind of glorifying being your own boss, being in control of your own stuff, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
You got to realize when you working a 9-to-5, you guaranteed a check.
Exactly.
You're not guaranteed a check as a boss.
Exactly.
If nobody come through your doors, you don't eat.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
That's a risk in and of itself.
Yes.
Because you don't know if this is gonna go off or not.
You don't know.
you don't know if you're gonna be able to make a living off of this.
Nope. But I tell everybody this, and this some wise words. I would listen to somebody that has did it and failed before I listen to anybody that's never tried.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. Yeah. Everybody, because we quick to say, "Oh yeah, invest in me. Give me some money so I can open this up."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking that money and taking a chance on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We quick to take chances on everything else.
Exactly.
Except for ourselves.
Exactly.
Save your money. It took me 3 tax refunds. 3 tax refunds to open up my shop.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I never do this, the handout thing. When you go to a bank, the bank owns your business. You don't own it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to pay your rent and the bank.
Exactly.
You just added another expense.
Exactly. That's what people don't be understanding, though.
Yeah.
I wanna kind of focus on what you said, though, as well. Like, not taking a handout.
Yeah.
In a sense of sometimes our pride gets a little bit the best of us sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, that you are bankrolling everything. So you don't have to go back and pay anybody else.
You ain't got to pay nobody else. And guess what? You'll work harder for your dream if it's coming out of your pocket. You're not working hard for the dream if somebody else is footing the bill for it.
Exactly.
You don't really care, because you ain't putting nothing in it.
Yeah. I was talking to another one of my guests before, right? And we were talking about, do you think that it's necessary to quit your job in order to get a little bit of fire up under you to go and get the goal that you need to get to, And we kind of came to the verdict that while that is good sometimes, for sure, sometimes you need a little bit of a safety net.
You got to have that safety net. Mm-hmm. My fiance jumped out there. I said, look, keep your job.
Yeah.
Keep your job.
Yeah.
She went on and quit. She was working at Grady White Boats for the longest. Mm-hmm. She went on and quit, and then she went to open up her gym. Mm-hmm. And it didn't succeed.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't succeed. It didn't succeed at all. I ended up paying the rent.
Bankroll that.
I ended up paying the rent, and the strain of that separated us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now we like best friends.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you right now, she'll say that was the worst thing I could have done. I should have kept that job.
Really? Sometimes you get excited because you have this idea and you say, this is gonna work. I see everybody else and
everybody believes their idea is gonna work.
Exactly. But the thing is, 95% of people believe that their ideas are gonna work, and it never works.
It never works.
And that's something that you just have to be able to be prepared for.
Yes. Yes.
Just jumping off into the deep end, it's no guarantee you're gonna float.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Like me, I was a piercer before I started. Mm-hmm. In Fayetteville, North Carolina, I was the #1 piercer. Mm-hmm. I still could go anywhere. If it didn't work out, I still was able to go somewhere else and work.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But
because of your reputation.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you, everybody and their mama told me it wasn't gonna work.
Really?
People I was working with, that I had worked with for years and stuff, my mentor, the one that taught me how to pierce, I told him 3 months before I was gonna leave his shop that I was gonna open up my own thing, right? He congratulated me. He said, man, I wish you the best. Then turned around that same night telling the other artists, oh man, he gonna be back with us in another month because that thing ain't gonna work.
Wow.
Because I was going into the mall. I'm the first tattoo shop to go into a mall. They was like, it's not gonna work. Even the mall, Cross Creek Mall, their executives was nervous because they never had a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
They was nervous. My rent was high. Being that was in the mall, it was high. So,
hey, no, you good.
Go sit down, buddy. I love you. All right. Sorry about that.
Nah, you good.
I take my babies everywhere I go. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was like, Dad, this the guy that taught me.
Yeah.
And now he's bashing me like, oh, it's not gonna work and stuff.
Exactly.
So I quit that day.
Yeah. Of course.
I said I can't work for somebody that don't even believe in me.
Exactly.
So
at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it was still 3 months till I had to open up my shop. So I was grinding. Yeah. I had to do everything I could.
Get as much money as you can.
To open up. Because in Cross Creek Mall, my rent was $6,400 a month.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was in an 836 square foot box. What? That's about as big as this.
I was about to say, that's less square footage in my apartment.
Yes.
Wow, that is crazy. Crazy.
But I jumped out there and it took off. It took off.
So how did that feel, getting success when people were telling you that it wasn't gonna happen?
It felt great. I started off with 2 tattoo artists. 2 tattoo artists. Nobody thought it was gonna do it. And I tell you, I tried to get like, I think about 6 tattoo artists that was of my color. They come. All of them said, nah, man, I don't think it's gonna work. It was me and 2 white artists.
Really?
That started.
You know what's sad though, and I hate to kind of point this out, but it's like people of the same skin folk will not support you sometimes until they already see that you have success.
That's when everybody started calling me.
See, exactly.
When they saw that line wrapped around the mall, they started blowing me up.
So how do you interact with that? How do you deal with that?
I still hired them. I still hired them because I really wanted you to see what I could do.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? I really wanted you to see what I could do.
Yeah.
Because when you had to come back to me, that was some humbling pie you had to eat anyway.
Exactly. Exactly, because you know what you said.
Exactly. And you know that I know what you said.
Yeah.
So for you to come back to me, you had to really humble yourself.
Exactly.
So yeah, I brought you on because I still wanted you to see what I could do.
Okay. And now you have this chain of businesses right now. This all kind of encapsulates believing in yourself, working, and sticking with something that you know is going to work.
Exactly.
You know? And I mean, it's still, at the same time, I would still say it's a little bit of luck in it because there's a chance that it wasn't going to go.
It wasn't going to fail.
You know?
Exactly.
But the fact that it still went through is beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm so happy for you,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Now, we were talking about off camera about social media and marketing and everything along those lines.
Okay.
And like, how do you feel if we were to go ahead and try to get some advice to somebody else, right? And it comes to marketing their business or anything along those lines with social media, like what do you think is the coming times?
Be careful. Be very careful with social media. If you're not experienced with social media, get somebody to talk to you first. That's very experienced with social media.
Yeah.
Because when you start promoting your business, you can't put your personal views about things now.
Facts.
Like politics, what's going on in the world. You just can't do that now.
Yeah.
Because once you jump out there, you locked in.
Yeah, that's true.
You are locked all the way in.
That's very true.
And it could kill your business.
Yeah.
Your views, even though I respect everyone's views, your views could end your business.
Which is sad.
It's sad.
But I mean, that's
how it is.
Yeah. That's the nature of society right now, you know? So, and when we talk about, you know, your views and your opinions ending your business, do you think that there's just, we can't separate our opinions of a person from the work and quality of a person?
Well, once you start a business, everybody gonna know you as the face of that business. So when you jump out there, that's like you see all these like supermodels and stuff.
Yeah.
When they on a campaign and they mess around and make a mistake and say the wrong thing, they cut them right then.
Yeah.
They cut them right then. And that's how it is with business. You the face of your business. So that when you have your personal views about stuff or saying crazy stuff online, they were looking at all of that.
Yeah.
They're like, well, no, I'm not gonna go to their business.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
So when you start a business, when you get on that social media, you got to separate everything. You got to just focus on your business, stay off that social media, that drama stuff, stay out of that. Stay all the way out of that and just promote your business.
Exactly. I mean, because people love drama.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and say that. People love
drama. They love it. And I'm going to tell you, the wrong thing you post can go viral.
Yeah.
Because people love drama.
Exactly.
It would go viral. I can post my business, right? And get I do about 100, 150 likes.
Okay.
Let me post anything else, you know what I'm saying, not pertaining to the business or just a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get 500 likes. You know?
Yeah.
It costs nothing to share somebody's business. It costs absolutely nothing. Nothing.
That's very true.
And I'm gonna tell you, strangers have shared my stuff before somebody that I take care of with my business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
You know? That's why, okay, so when I started this particular thing, and I'm going in here to basically create an entertainment company, right? And so this is gonna be one of the different things that I have in this company, right?
Yes.
But when I started this, I wanted it to be made sure that nobody from my past knew that I was doing this.
Yes.
So I have a whole separate account. I go under a whole different moniker. And everything along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Everything is separated. So I haven't told anybody that I do XYZ. And so the people that follow me, the people that support are most of the time strangers.
Exactly. That's how
but those are going to be the people that really supports you and are the diehards.
Exactly.
And that's a crazy thing.
Exactly.
Because you would think that the people who know you would ride or die for you, you know?
Nope. It's never the case.
It's never the case.
Never.
And I'm like, yo, why? You know,
they'll do this first. Hey, can I have something?
Yeah. That's very
They'll do
true.
that first.
That's very true.
They'll do that first before they say, okay, I'll approach you now.
Yeah. So how has been your time kind of navigating those roads?
Whew. I have lost relationships. I have lost family relationships, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. It's some people like, I had an aunt that I haven't spoke to in probably like 15 years.
Really?
Out of the blue, she hit me up on Facebook and say, hey, how you doing today? I'll call and see if I can borrow $1,000 so I can move my stuff down to your mom's house.
$1,000.
I ain't spoke to this woman in 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that. Even with when you dating, are they here for you? Are they here for what you can do for them?
Exactly.
You know,
that's a minefield of itself.
Phew.
You know, especially whenever you start trying to really make a name for yourself, do good for yourself later on in life, you know, or early on, whatever the case may be. A lot of people look at other people as transaction, you know?
Yeah.
In the sense of, okay, what can you do for me?
What can you do for me?
You have to be able to navigate those and be able to discern,
Exactly.
okay, what are you really here for?
Exactly.
Are you here for my personality and because I make you laugh, or are you
here for a check?
Exactly. Exactly.
Which one? Let it be known up front. Let it be known up front.
Yeah, because honestly, I think that people would respect more if you said, hey, honestly, I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a good time, and for a good lifestyle real quick. And
then you know exactly where it's going.
Exactly. You can say yes or no.
Then it's on you.
Yeah, then that's on you.
It's on you.
But don't try to dupe somebody into something else, because then at that point we're under false pretenses.
Exactly, but that's all Instagram teaches you now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I'm not gonna lie about that one.
That's all they teach you there. Get a bag. Get a bag.
Yeah, get a bag, man. That's been honestly like the motto for the past 5 years. Yeah. You know, get your bag.
Get to the bag.
Do whatever you need to do to get to the bag and everything. And it's like, man, like there's morals. There's things that you shouldn't do to get to that bag, you know?
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Ladies, that 9-to-5 guy will treat you totally better than that boss.
Okay. There we go.
Remember that.
That's a hot take. Y'all got to think about the fact that it takes a lot of time to be the boss.
It takes a lot of time. That's why relationships, most bosses don't have a relationship. They working 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have the opportunity to stop working at a certain time.
Yeah, facts.
We are up going 24/7.
Exactly.
I didn't get home at 4 o'clock this morning.
Really?
I had to drive all the way to Fayetteville to work yesterday.
Got you.
Then had to come back and go to the shop here and get the cash and all that stuff.
Yeah.
4 o'clock this morning I got in.
God, man.
It's ongoing. And then I got my kids too. I do
That's
all
a
of
whole
their
other full-time job.
Yeah, I do everything.
And see, people had to understand the fact that like it's a whole different lifestyle if you want to be with a person who's trying or who is a boss or trying to be a boss.
I'm trying to be a boss.
You know, because the time commitments is completely different. It's totally different.
Completely different.
You know, even just doing this, I have this particular thing chatted. I do music, so I record people, I produce.
You're doing something 24/7.
Every time, man. And I'm like, man, like sometimes, at least when I was first starting to do this, I would feel bad because I'm like, yo, like I don't have time to do a lot of stuff that everybody else is doing. You know, I can't come over and just hang. You know what I'm saying?
But guess what? In the long run, it'll be worth it.
That's true.
In the long run, I'm gonna be seeing you on TV. You know what I'm saying? All them stars and stuff gonna be shouting you out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's worth it, but people don't see the beginning process.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they see after it's completed.
Exactly.
And think, oh, okay, that was easy. No, it wasn't.
Exactly.
No, it wasn't.
It was a lot of short hour sleep,
I'm trying to tell you.
sleep nights.
Every time. So,
but see, that just go back to what we were talking about earlier. Just believing in yourself and keeping on grinding.
You got to.
You know,
you got to,
because ain't nobody else gonna believe in you except for you.
Look, do not be afraid to get in that mirror and shed a tear.
Yes. Do
Even
not as men, like
at men. Yes, exactly. Because it'd been plenty nights I had to drop down and be like, God.
Yeah.
Literally. Get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Don't bottle that stuff. Even if you got to go see a therapist or something.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially for black men, it's okay.
Exactly. We really have to normalize, especially black men going to therapy.
They think that it's, oh man, okay, no, I ain't gonna sit on a shrink.
That's a buzzword now, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But go talk, man, I'm telling you, I go see mine every Friday.
Really?
I love her to death. Love her to death. That's the only person in the world, besides you today, I can sit back and just relax and talk.
yeah.
And talk with no judgment.
Mm-hmm. And that's the key, honestly.
Yeah.
To not get judged.
Not get judged.
Because even when you talk to your friends, sometimes you feel like, okay, I could tell them X, Y, Z, but they might judge me for X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
You know?
Or they're going to bring it back up when y'all ain't cool no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how relationships are.
Yeah.
You could tell your spouse or whatever, everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. Something go wrong, all of it coming right back up at you.
Exactly. Even the stuff that y'all didn't talk about.
Exactly. So that's why, I go talk to that lady.
Yeah.
And I feel refreshed every time I leave there.
Now, when did you start therapy?
A couple years ago.
A couple years ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago. I started.
Do you think that would be a good sense to say, like, it helped change your life for the better?
It definitely had. Man, I was depressed all the time. And everybody said, Dad, he winning out here. Yeah. He's doing this and that.
Yeah.
Man, I was depressed 24/7.
And see, that shows, though, that you never know what a person is going through.
You never.
Because a person could be happy, smiling in your face, kicking it with you.
And next thing you know, they on the news, they gone.
Exactly.
They gone.
And so we really have to, as people, as a society, as a generation, even just as men, we have to take care of ourselves.
Got to.
Your health, yes, we get, your bodily health and everything along those lines, but your mental health is still health.
It's still, exactly.
Let's go ahead and try to push that narrative a little bit,
If you need somebody to talk to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to somebody.
Exactly.
It's even places that, you can go for free and talk to people. Talk to somebody that's experienced.
Yeah. With some experience that'll actually be able to help you.
Exactly.
Man. And not just say,
sometimes your homeboys or homegirls can't help you.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that they're not so friends and not so homeboys, whatever.
But sometimes you got to go to people that are experienced in it.
Exactly.
So, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
We were talking about parenting off camera. I'm bringing a lot of off camera subjects, y'all, but
yeah, no problem. Let's go.
How do you feel about being a parent? How old are you, actually? Can I ask?
I am 42.
42?
Yes.
Okay. So, how is being a parent?
Man.
What is this, like middle age?
Oh, man, I done started over again, man. Look, I got 2 6-year-old boys.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? One of them is adopted.
Okay.
But he's mine.
Yeah, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, they're my world. Mm-hmm. They are my world.
And that's beautiful, man.
They are my world. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. I don't care who I'm with. Mm-hmm. Their moms can call me up at any time and say they need something. Mm-hmm. They gonna get it.
See, yeah.
They gonna get it. I could cuss them out that same day, and she can mess up her car and say, hey, I need a new car.
Yeah.
You gonna get it.
Yeah.
You gonna get it.
And I like that, though, because that goes into that provider role.
Yeah. I don't care who they with or anything. Mm-hmm. They call me and need something, they gonna get it.
Yeah. But that lets you know, though, that you still have love and you're able to support when you need support.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people out there who aren't willing to take up that role,
Yeah, they feel like, okay, well, if she ain't with me, I ain't gonna help her at all then.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, I'm here.
See,
I'm here.
See, I'm not gonna lie, that is a rare thing, man.
Yeah, it's very rare. That's very rare. Like I told you, we got the relationship now where we could disagree, cuss each other out, and call each other like 10 minutes later and talk about something totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They already know
right there.
They already know our routine.
Yeah.
You can't agree on everything.
That's true.
That's
very true.
You cannot agree on everything. Sometimes it's just safe to say, agree to disagree.
Not too many people are willing to agree to
because
disagree.
Everybody want to push their point on someone.
Exactly. And feel like they're right.
Yeah.
You want to hear that this other person, both
of y'all could be right.
Exactly.
Both of y'all could be dead wrong.
Exactly.
Just if it's not going, let it go. That's like a Republican trying to they're going to talk to a Democrat.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
We have to, even if we talk about politics, we have to be able to get to a middle ground, because we can't get anywhere in this government, in this economy.
You see the government now, you can't get it. They can't get nothing done.
You have two sides just completely disagreeing with everything.
And every last one of them got an ego.
Exactly. And everyone wants, like you said, to have their narrative pushed,
pushed.
And it's like, man, at some point we have to be able to compromise.
Compromise and say, okay, look, mine might not work now. Let me push mine to the side.
Exactly.
And I'll just push mine later.
Exactly. We've lost the art of compromising.
Oh, it's gone.
Because it's like, man, like everybody, like you said, everybody wants to be right and everybody wants to feel in the right.
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good whenever you've gotten something right.
Yeah.
For sure. But you can't get everything right all the time.
Not all the time.
And you have to be able to step outside yourself sometimes and say, okay, cool, I can improve on this.
Yeah.
Improving your character is, in my opinion, one of our goals in life. You know,
It got to be.
At the end of the day.
It got to be. Oh, that's all you got.
Yes.
That's all you got.
You.
You. That's all you got.
I want to look at like personality as almost like a resume, because this is what you are sending out to people. This is their first impression of you.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, I check Facebooks too. You come in and ask me for a job.
Yeah.
I'm looking on your Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have it in that little box, your Instagram and stuff. You ain't gonna know what's going on. You just gonna write that Instagram stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go look you up.
Yeah. And see, so have you X'd people out because of that?
Yeah. If I see is every post drama, you'll never work for me.
Really?
Never. Because you put your true feelings out on social media. That's what people do. They show their true self on that social media.
Exactly. A lot of people don't have no filter.
They don't have none at all. At all. Most big companies, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They get the real you. The real you ain't on the application.
Exactly.
We all know that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what you want to hear on the application.
Exactly.
But on that social media, I get you every time.
Which is sad though.
Yeah.
Because you have more and more people falling into that, where they are just posting everything and anything on social media.
Anything they want.
And this is a representation of you.
Just to get one little blue like.
Exactly. Which is sad though.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is a representation of you now.
Exactly.
And so whoever's looking at you, regardless of whether you think this is going to be an employer or not, is seeing who you are portraying to be.
Who you are portraying to be.
Come on,
you
now,
portraying
man.
to be.
Come on now, we got to do better.
We got to do better.
That doesn't mean that, you know, you just don't put anything on social media. That means like, okay, cool, let's just become better.
Yeah. Now, even if I saw that, okay, back in the day, you was like that, but now you changed,
Yeah.
I'd hire you.
Yeah.
But if it's just like ongoing,
Yeah.
come on now.
Because that doesn't show growth.
No, man, it's people my age on Facebook still doing the same mess.
Yeah.
Still doing it. You over here up here arguing with 20-year-olds. What the world?
Like we said, people like drama, man.
They love it.
You know?
I swear they love it.
And it's easy to get fed into it.
Yeah.
Easy to get swept up to where now all of a sudden you have a whole thread with this 16, 17-year-old, and you don't even know where you got this from now.
Exactly.
Come on now. Y'all done probably gone off for 2 different tangents.
that part. It's crazy. It's crazy out here.
But so I will ask, what is probably one of the biggest things that you've learned from your coming years?
Don't be too trustworthy at first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I used to give people, when they come in my shop, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. I treat you like family from the go.
Really?
You know? Like we was talking off camera, I've been burnt every time. Every time. You know what I'm saying? It's still not gonna stop me from hiring people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's how I lost the love for what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm looking in other areas to branch off.
Yeah.
Because it's just when years after, you know what I'm saying, you look out for people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I took people, you know where Fayetteville State is, right?
Yes.
You know those abandoned buildings that was right across the street?
Yes.
I fixed one of those buildings up and turned that into a shop too.
Really?
I had 2 in Fayetteville.
Okay.
I turned that into a shop. But while I was in there, it was a 19-year-old in there asleep. The guys that was doing the contract, they said, yo, man, they woke him up and said, yo, you got to leave and stuff. And I was over there by the truck, and someone told me to turn around, looked at him, he looked real young. I said, where he come from? They said he was in there asleep, he homeless. I said, run over there, get him real quick, tell him to come over here. Got him, brought him to me. I said, how old are you, man? He said, I'm 19 years old. I said, you ain't got nowhere to go? He said he was from California, but he got adopted when he was little.
Got you.
And after that check run out at 18, they kicked him out.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they kicked him out. And I said, man, for real, I said, look, what you trying to do? He said, I'm trying to get into the military. I said, do you got your GED or anything? He didn't have none of that.
Wow.
I said, okay, come on. Took him to the mall. Spent over $2,500 in clothes, hygiene, all that stuff on him.
What?
Put him up in the hotels. You know the hotels like you're going down towards Hope Mills?
Yeah.
Hope Mills Road?
Yeah.
Put him up there for about a couple of months.
Wow.
Taught him how to pierce. So I had him coming in on a couple of days learning how to pierce so he can make his own money.
Yeah.
Did all of that. Sent him to, what you call those places where you send them off, they learn a trade?
Trade school.
Learn trade, and he had to get his GED too.
Okay.
Because I took him down there, they said, all thing he needed is GED. He passed, he took the practice test, passed with flying colors.
Nice, okay.
I got a call from the counselor at the trade school saying, cause they don't allow smoking and stuff. Say he won't listen to us, he's out there smoking. And it just, what? So I said, put him on the phone. I said, bro, what you doing? Man, I can't take it here. I'm leaving, man. I can't take it here. I said, look here, if you leave there, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I said, we trying to get you in a better place so you can go and do your thing.
Yeah.
He said, oh well.
Wow.
Oh well, after I done did all of this.
That's so sad. Because you don't put in so much time and money.
So much time.
And effort. When nobody else is giving them effort. Even a place to stay.
Yeah.
Like.
And he hit me up probably like 6 months ago on Instagram. Cause he was calling me Pop and everything.
Wow.
And he said, hey Pop, you got some money I can borrow? Come on, I'm out here in a tent out here. I said, I ain't got nothing for you, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, I ain't got nothing for you. I said, if you do get on your feet, call me. Call me. I help you when you get on your feet. I said, I done put too much into you that they're gonna do it again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I said, so just call me when you get on your feet and I got you.
Yeah. And sometimes those hard lessons have to be taught.
It's just like, wow. And even when I hire people that, no other shop will hire.
Yeah.
I bring them in my shop, train them up so they can out there do good. They always steal from me.
Stealing.
They always steal.
I never got that though. Like if you're getting a check, you have consistent money coming in. Why are we stealing from the business?
Bruh. Like I just told you,
eventually you're gonna get that money back.
I had a piercer that was making $1,300 cash a week. I fired him because he was stealing $20 and $30 here and there.
And see, what are you doing with this money?
That's crazy.
Like,
that's crazy.
Exactly.
You know how many people are killed to make $1,300 cash a week?
Literally though. And see, that just shows how a lot of people are ungrateful, when we come down to it. And also, a lot of people are greedy. To where you are making enough money to be able to support you in your life, and now you still want to take a little bit of chump change.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
You making over $5,000 a month. Ooh, I tell you.
And the thing is, the $30 is not going to up your $5,000.
It's not going to up it at all. It's not going to up it at all. So
I can understand. Like, obviously, I don't condone it, but obviously, like, I can understand if you're stealing, I don't know, $1,000. Okay, cool. You're trying to make an extra, like 3 racks. Okay, cool. I get why you're trying to steal.
But the thing is, when they steal a little bit,
they're going to steal a lot.
They're going to take a lot.
That's true.
And when they get comfortable doing it, they're going to take more and more and more each time. More and more each time. That's why I got a zero policy about that. I'm cutting you off right then.
Because you just can't trust a thief.
No.
At the end of the day.
And then they beat you get mad. That's the sad thing. They'll beat you get mad.
They just mad that they got caught.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And so we got to move away from this. One, that goes to accountability. We got to have accountability.
Exactly.
You do what you do. Okay, cool. There are always consequences for your actions, no matter whatever it is. If it's good or bad, there's always consequences. So we have to learn how to deal with those consequences in an appropriate manner.
In an appropriate way, because you never know. You could come back at any time, and you left the right way.
Exactly. Because sometimes people forgive.
Yeah.
You have to do your deed. Okay, cool. You have to serve your time.
Yeah,
okay,
serve
cool.
your time. Hey, come on back. Come on back.
Exactly. So, you know what, y'all? I want to definitely say for all of our listeners out there and everything that you never know where your next help is going to come from.
Never know.
At all.
You never know.
That's what makes life so enjoyable.
Yes.
At least to me. because just being good and positive to people and everything along those lines will bring you blessings that you never know.
It'll come back.
You know,
it might not come back right then.
Exactly.
But it will come back.
Exactly. And that's the thing that life is about.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you know?
Yes.
One, being positive brings me peace, personally.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I know that I'm doing what I need to be doing in life. I know that I'm pushing out positivity to everybody else and helping somebody in some way, shape, or form. And even when it comes to this podcast and everything, it's like the whole goal and premise is to just show that everybody and anybody can just have a conversation.
Yes, anybody.
We're so much more alike than anybody ever really thinks about, because there's like a wall nowadays, especially with social media and everything.
Oh my God.
And it's like, yo, it's like we can't even talk to each other. You know?
We can't talk. You know, I tell people, say, how you notice that when you text me, I call you?
Yes.
Stuff gets so messed up in texting and when you hitting somebody up on what you call it, that I say, okay, you know what? I'd rather the words come out of my mouth then, because you know, you got different tones.
Yeah, that's very true.
So something that you will send somebody that you didn't mean as a terrible could come off that way when you send it as a text.
Exactly.
But if I'm talking to you on the phone
you
and
can
I say
hear
that
me.
same, and I got that tone, you'll know, okay, well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I always call people.
You know, and I like that. I'm gonna start doing that. You know, I'm liking the fact of leaving voice messages. Sometimes people don't pick up and everything along those lines, but I can still leave a voice message real quick and say what I need to say, and then we can get on about our business. You know, it's a lot quicker than texting.
A lot quicker. And the point goes across.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Nothing is getting misconstrued, none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that testing, especially when you're arguing with somebody, do not text your girl arguing.
Man. Oh my gosh, I swear.
Oh boy.
I've gotten in a lot of trouble with that.
Yes.
Sometimes, like you said, your tone can be misconstrued.
Exactly.
Me personally, I'm a bland texter for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't like to leave too many emojis and everything on those lines. You know, like that's not really my vibe.
Straight to the point and I'm gone.
Exactly. It's not really my vibe. So that can come off kind of different to other people.
You're right.
You know, to where some people might say, okay, cool, it feels like you just
brushing me off.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's not what
I just hate testing. That's all. I just hate testing.
I'm too busy. Exactly. So it's crazy just how like communication is such a big thing nowadays.
It's a real big thing.
You know?
Real big thing.
Even when it comes to our relationships and everything, like if you don't have good communication skills, it's gonna make things just a lot harder.
It's gonna tear it up.
You know?
It's gonna tear it up. I tell, you know, if I'm in a relationship, right, I tell her, I don't care how small it is. Let me know right then.
Yeah.
Even if I don't agree with your point, at least I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if I respect you, even if I do something, you know what I'm saying, so we can compromise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
You know, just let me know. Don't build it up, because you know those small things turn into something big.
Yeah.
You know, let me know right then.
Yeah.
I hate yes people. I despise yes people. I tell people at work, if something wrong, come to me.
Yeah.
Don't keep it in.
Exactly.
Let me know.
Because then, like, I'm not gonna ever know that there's an issue if I'm never told that there's an issue. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what a lot of people have to start understanding. Like, if you want something to change, you have to say something.
You got to say something.
Even when it comes to jobs and getting raises and everything along those lines.
Go there and talk to them people.
Exactly.
You might catch them in the mood and be like, yeah, you know what? I'll give you that raise.
Yeah.
Or he might tell you, you know what? Get the hell out. But you know what I'm saying? At least you went in there.
Exactly. They know you want it.
You didn't sit here for 2 more years like, damn, I should have went in there and talked to this man.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we can't operate on those types of bases because at the end of the day, like, it's just gonna be regret, and regret kills a lot of stuff.
Kills a lot of stuff.
You know, at the end of the day, because it's like, man, you're gonna consistently think about, dang, like you said, what if I would have did XYZ? You know, what if I would have said something to that person? Man, the day's gone. The opportunity's gone right now.
It is gone.
You know? And so we got to make our bed with that.
You got to, exactly. Because I'll be honest with you, right? I love my kids dearly. But if I didn't have no kids, I would be in one of those countries where the dollar is like 1,000% higher.
Because you know it's dying here.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can go, somebody that's struggling here can go over there and live like a king.
Exactly.
You know, you can go somewhere and live like a king.
which is crazy, isn't it?
It's
Thinking
crazy.
about.
I know. I got a friend. He went to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
He got a business down in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Honey bun hair.
Honey bun hair.
Honey bun hair.
Okay,
All the
okay.
stars and all the
Yeah.
girls go to that one shop to get their hair.
Yeah.
And he moved to Africa.
Really?
He said, bruh, I got stars and everybody coming into my place, and I'm still like breaking with my expenses and the shop expenses. I'm breaking even.
Wow.
He
Breaking
said,
even?
I'm breaking even.
Oh my gosh.
So he got somebody that he really trusts running this place.
Yeah.
He moved to Africa. He said, man, I ain't never been this happy in my life. He said, I am living like I'm supposed to be living.
Really? Now, I will say it's definitely natural over there too.
Yeah.
Because you can grow your own stuff, or like even if you were to try to get produce.
He said, man, look, he said, I can spend $200 a month and my whole house is filled with food.
What?
Filled with food.
You know my food bill? My food bill is about $600.
That's my DoorDash bill. That's just my DoorDash bill.
Oh my God.
Not my food bill. That's my
Seriously?
DoorDash food.
Oh my God.
Them jokers?
Yeah.
Man,
Kids
my kids open up the refrigerator just to see that light come on. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Which is, it's one. I would definitely say food is a horrible expense. Like, oh my gosh, because at the end of the day, you need it.
You need it.
you can't go without it.
Oh yeah, it's raining out here, y'all.
I'm about to say, is it raining? Okay. It just started raining. Lovely. But and we can go ahead and pack this up soon. But like going overseas, that's one of my biggest like goals.
Yes.
You know, to live overseas, to go ahead and have a spot.
Life, man.
Exactly.
Experience life. Never get to my age and be like, damn, I wish I would have did it this way.
Yeah.
Even if you go a route and it doesn't work out, keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going, man.
Because there's light at the end of that tunnel.
I swear it is.
That's what people got to understand. You'll be able to get to where you need to go. You just need to keep on pushing,
and I tell people, right, it's okay. Say if I reach my goal, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't take me to stardom.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I reached my goal, and if I'm able to help the next person get to that stardom,
exactly.
I'm happy for you. And guess what? I would never call your phone and say, hey, you know I did help you get to that point.
Exactly.
Can you help me out now?
Exactly.
No, I'll never do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to shout me out on nothing. I'm rooting for you. That's what you call genuine love.
Genuine love, man. And that's what's missing a lot of times, man.
Exactly.
Because people are always expecting to get something in return. And it's like, sometimes you will get something in return by not asking for something in return.
Exactly.
You know?
And surround yourself with people that don't mind telling you in your face, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
If you got a bunch of yes people around you, you're going to fail every time.
Exactly. Because you're not able to actually discern what's going right and what's not.
Exactly. But I'm going to tell you, people like that, they're so afraid to tell you no because they riding your coattails. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a true friend, I'm going to say, bro, you wrong, man.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
You wrong.
And there also has to be a relationship strong enough for you to be able to say that.
Exactly.
And to not fear that you're going to get cut off by saying you're wrong.
But if I do get cut off, I'm going to be like, look, I did tell
what
him,
you were supposed to do.
You do the thing, and then it comes out wrong.
Yeah.
You know I was in your corner.
Exactly. At the end of the day. At the end of the day. And so a lot of people just need more, and that's what I call genuine friends.
That's it.
You know, a lot of people just need more genuine friends when it comes to just the relationships, because that helps you become a better person.
That's it.
If you have a bunch of yes men in you, you're not going to change. Yeah, you're not going to grow. Come on now.
Because everything you don't have to worry about nobody telling you that you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You need those people.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man.
You need those people.
We had a great conversation, man.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
My first podcast, and this was great.
Really?
Yes.
And I'm glad to have given you a good experience,
Thank you.
You know, because that's what this is about. Like I was saying, and we call it Chat It just because it's about just chatting with people.
Yeah.
And having an open, genuine conversation. And, you know, like, there's no script. If y'all already know, there's no script or anything along those lines. We just talking.
I ain't know what was going to happen. Ain't know what was going to happen.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much.